Hello, welcome to today's edition of the Success Principles for Housewives and Stay-at-Home Parents. My name is Dr. Mrs. Blessing Ishomo, and I am happy to bring another success principle your way that can help you achieve your goals this year. I am a certified leadership coach, a certified trainer of the Success Principles by Jack Canfield, a family and sex coach, and also a network marketing professional. Yesterday, we looked at, you working on that money consciousness and then moving ahead to actually decide how much you want and working towards achieving that goal. Today, we want to still in that line of looking at how you can work with money and achieve your goals. Pay yourself first. So today is day 58 and we are looking at that success principle, pay yourself first. A lot of times we all have needs, wants, different things pulling us, and we just have to, see that word have to. You need to do something about it. You just have to respond. But now we need to look at a way to change how we see the way money goes out. So you have the inflow for your cash flow, you have the money coming in, income, and then you have how you disburse or how you spend the money. Where does your money go? So this particular principle started with a book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Jack Canfield cited that book where it was a fable talking about how a particular man learned how to become financially independent. And one of the principles was pay yourself first. Set out 10% of whatever you earn and don't touch it, don't have access to it, and let it over time, you build compound interest and you are able to make something out of that money. So while I was on Facebook chatting in a group, somebody dropped a post. It says, should I buy a car or a house? Please advise me, because hello Priscilla, thank you so much for joining. He said, but because this 15,000 naira is giving me sleepless nights, I had a good laugh. And some people started, saying, buy a toy car. Another person said, poor people everywhere. They were just commenting and it was funny, but really, it is something that we need to look at. A lot of people, when there is money in their hands, they want to spend it. Sometimes they want to get things to show that they have arrived. Many people, the first thing they think of is, let me show, like in Nigeria, I would say, you hear the parlance or the slangs, I don't hammer. There has to be something to show that I am there. Maybe a big car, or living in a highbrow, like a big place, or any of those things. And to people, that is what makes you successful. For some others, it's they must go on vacation, they must go to the US, they must spend the money. They may be living on mortgage, they may be struggling to get by, but because of that circle that they found themselves, they just have to go on vacation. I learned about someone who took a loan from the bank for her business and diverted the money to sending her son on a vacation. And the whole idea was the boy did well in his exams and she wanted to give him a treat with a loan that was meant to be invested in the business to bring out money. So you see how getting it all wrong can really get people into trouble. So today we want to share how you can start saving 10% or whatever you can take out of your income and keep it and do not touch it. If you make savings and investments a priority, it will help you to have something to fall back on. You know, the first quote in this particular series, in this principle, was saying that everybody, it's your birthright to live in abundance. And if you don't, get all that you want, at least get $1 million. Become a millionaire. So how? If you start early to save and you don't touch it, that money begins to compound with the interest. You leave it with the interest like that over time. Starting early is the name of the game. For those of us that did not start early, today is also a good time to start. There are some people, they get into this thrift contribution where maybe 10 people come together and they put a particular amount of money aside every month, and one person picks that. That is one way you can get a bulk from that your savings and put it into something like bonds or another investment. It is not for you to use and buy something. It is not for you to use and solve any problem. That money is supposed to be forgotten. Forgotten, that's the name. For the next 10 years, for the next 15 years, I know that some people will be like, don't believe that thing. How can you be talking like this in this Nigeria, in this economy? But the truth is, there will always be things to take that money. There will always be reasons. There will always be something that you will spend money on. It doesn't end. So pay yourself first. Look for ways to keep that money away from your, having to tamper with it. You could do automatic withdrawal from the bank where that income is coming in. You just know that you don't have to start struggling with self-discipline. What do I do? You can sit down with a financial planner and plan what it will take for you to take care of your retirement days, and then you start saving towards it. A lot of stories that he shared on this principle about people who decided to pay themselves first. He talked about Sir Templeton. This man would do 50-50. 50% of his income went into savings. And if he wanted to buy something, let's assume, like we were saying about the car and the house. First of all, the 15,000 is not even enough to buy either a car or a house. So you can see the mindset of the person. It's so funny. But let's assume the person is about purchasing a car of, say, $40,000 or $30,000. Or over here, you would say maybe 10 million or 5 million, whatever. The rule for this man is you will not buy that car until you have saved exactly that amount. You've saved away that amount. The first time I heard this was from my mentors in the network marketing space from Asia. We had built the business to a point, and then they said I think we were 2 or 3 who were in a room, and they said, listen, we need to teach you financial, strategies, because a lot of times, especially in the network marketing space, you see people make big money. When I say big money, I mean big money. And then that's how the money goes, because they want to buy the car, they want to, do this, do that, before you know it. And then they go back to working very hard to get back the money again, and then they blow it off. You need to live the lifestyle so everybody would know that you're making money in network marketing. Yeah, I know. Those who know what I'm saying. So, you imagine how much your youthful days you work hard, you make these monies, and then at the end of the day you look back, nothing, or if there's an emergency, nothing. So it's really food for thought for all of us. Build assets. Know the difference between an asset and a liability. These two things that this person is looking at the 15,000 to use to buy the car is a liability. Yeah, because from the day you buy that car, the cost, the value depreciates, and you start servicing. All that is taking money out. Anything that's taking money out of you is a liability. Anything that is bringing in money to you is an asset. So that's how you look at it. You ask yourself, is this thing bringing in money to me, or is it taking money away from me? Remember yesterday we talked about intellectual assets. You can also have intellectual liabilities if you are not using your assets well. Same thing with physical assets. So what is it that you have right now? Make that take audit of all that you have. Thank you so much. What do you have that is bringing in money, and what do you have that is taking away money? Can you reduce those things that are taking away money so that you have more of what is bringing in money? That's what the rich, that's what the wealthy do. That's what they do. They focus on things that will bring them money, and it is from the interest and profits of that they buy the cars and other things that they enjoy. So they understand delayed gratification. They understand how to treat money. A lot of people, once they just get this money, oh my goodness, they start speaking strangely. A friend of mine told me of, young girls. One of her friends in high school, she traveled to the UK just for the halls. It was just like 2 months, not up to 3 months of going to the UK for the first time. Her name, she's a Yoruba girl, her name is Lola. But when she came back, she changed everything. When they're talking to her, she's trying to use the British accent on them. And when they say, Lola, how are you? Be like, my name is Lola. And they say, what is your... So people, when they have this money, it gets into their head and they become something else. And they won't stop until they have squandered everything. So it's important that you understand that it is a consciousness you need to build. That discipline, you need to start now to do the savings. This particular Sir Templeton was doing the pay me first and not touch it, and he was also doing, the 10% tithe. A lot of people will scream, no, not tithing, not tithing. A lot of the wealthy people today, they know that principle works. So how do you build assets when you don't have anything in your account? So it's also an issue when people would save, and just for a moment, when they hear something that is flashy and has all the wonderful high returns, they just move all their monies and they put it there. And then sometimes it goes away, like you see with the Ponzi schemes and all those things, and then they are heartbroken. But some other times, wow, good evening, Ma. Thank you so much for joining. One of my big mommies is watching me, so I need to behave. Okay, so while it's good to check out for those timings where you just position and you make a big hit, they don't come all the time, and not all are sincere, especially when it is like during a depression. Is it depression? What word will I use? Inflation, and when the economy is not stable, like the times we find ourselves in Nigeria. A lot of people, you see them come up with all these Ponzi schemes and scams. A lot of people would say, if you put in this money, you get 3 times, and that's where people are just putting all their monies. Please and please and please try to vet and try to put your money in, things that, though they may be slow, but the money will be there for you. Thank you so much, Ma. I really appreciate your support. Thanks for watching. So please start investing in you. Start saving. Pay yourself first. Do not buy anything that is higher than what you are currently putting in your savings. Build assets and reduce liabilities. Anything that is taking money from you is a liability. Anything that is putting money into your pocket is an asset. Get more of them. If you so desire to make more money and you are not saving that, if you so desire to buy something and you are not saving that exact amount in your savings, then you would need to work harder to get other sources of income in. If this becomes a habit, it's really going to help you build this wealth. And then insurance would help you with so many things. Yesterday also we were in a meeting, and some people in a PTA meeting, some children lost their parents, and we're talking about contributing so that there'll be like a fund. And someone said, if there is an insurance for between the time the child starts the school to the time the child ends, which is like 6 years, if parents will start doing insurance for their children, that it would take care of some of these things. And nobody plans for things to happen. Things, that's life. You have all your plans, but things might happen. Some people have their home burnt. There was once we had in our estate, the man had, hey, Emenike, good to hear from you. Thank you so much for joining. The man had insurance, and so the house was burnt, but they didn't suffer loss because the house was insured. Insurance is something big, out there, but not so okay here, or let me say not so welcomed in our climb. One of the reasons is people feel they've been paying and paying and paying, and there's no accident, there's nothing. This insurance, they're just eating my money. But really, it is a smart move to insure your business, insure your home, insure other things. Now, towards the ending of this particular principle, he talked about one aspect. As a family and sex coach, it's really a controversial and a dicey this topic, and a painful one. He talked about prenuptial agreements. When people come together, they sign agreements that whatever they have before they came to the union should be separate. And many times people say, so what do you mean? Are you trying to say we're going to break up and all that? But that's why I said it's controversial. I have seen people do wicked things, like evil. Either the man or the woman, it doesn't matter. They just take things, just because they are married, they squander things, or they intentionally, bring all false allegations just to end the marriage, to be able to get the wealth, or some go to the extent of killing. It's just scary. So, but all that he's trying to say is, please look out for yourself. When you have saved this money, insure it, protect it. Look for ways to make sure that somebody somewhere will not just come and blow it away. So, the book is The Success Principles by Jack Canfield, and it's an amazing book that has helped me. You're free to watch the previous series. Today is day 58. We've done 57 other series, short videos helping us to understand how we can use the principles that the wealthy they use, and they are successful. And it's really amazing. I hope you've learned something today. Personally, I am a work in progress in this space, because I told you yesterday that in my home, my husband is the saver and I am the spender. So, but working with amazing mentors like Jack Canfield and so many other people, that mindset is, being taken care of. And I am, putting money aside and trying to build things as well. And my husband is happy because we're not fighting much. Okay, so thank you so much for today. We have our links down. You'll soon see them. You can join the inner circle, and you can also reach out for a one-on-one free coaching if you have things you want to talk about that is really personal and we could use the success principles for. And anything on marriage, sex, yeah, I am a family builder, and I'm really excited and passionate about seeing, husband, wife, and everyone succeed this year. So see you tomorrow, 9 p.m. West African time for another success principle. Thank you and bye for now.